back to Tom and Brooke. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Brian. And here's Noah, our co-host. He made a cameo towards the end of last week's episode, and I guess he just couldn't get enough of the camera.
He probably saw the YouTube video and was like, hey, I like myself up there.
He's like, I look fucking good.
Yeah.
He's thick. He has his winter body ready. But
great.
You know,
It's kind of chilly today.
the weather is amazing. Actually.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It is perfect.
So did you get roasted by ChatGPT yet?
I did.
I loved it.
I kind of liked it.
So I'm sure everyone, unless you're living under a rock, you've at least seen people putting let ChatGPT roast your Instagram feed, and like I forgot who the first person I saw. I think it was like some sort of tennis player, and I was like, what could they possibly say to me? Do you have yours? Like,
Yes.
what does yours say?
I'll pull it up, which I will preface that I had to ask you how to do this.
Well, I've used ChatGPT for the very first time, like maybe a week ago. Have you ever used?
I love ChatGPT.
Like, what do you use it for?
Any question. I went down a wormhole one day of trying to write a book with ChatGPT. So you're like developing characters and putting together a plot. I use ChatGPT all the time.
Oh.
I've asked it astrology questions. I've asked, so many things.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. I guess like for my job, at least, it's always been like, I guess kind of encouraged, like, oh, you know, because it could help you start writing something and then you can just like perfect it. And I guess part of me felt like it was cheating because like part of my job is to write. A big part of my job is to write. So I've noticed like, I felt like I don't need it. Like I'm a professional writer. I can do this. But I didn't feel like doing a certain assignment. So I was like, let me have ChatGPT do it for me. And it like did such a good job.
And ChatGPT is with it, almost in a scary way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, when I talk to ChatGPT now, I'm like really nice. I'm like, I always say like, hi, how are you? Because I don't want her to be mad at me. Because like,
I'm glad that we're acknowledging ChatGPT as a her.
She. Because, you know, AI is going to take over. Robots are going to take over one day. And like, I just don't want to be their first target. So
yeah, you're not on their shit list.
Yeah, exactly. So,
wow, I should start doing that. I talk to ChatGPT like I talk to my best friends, and that's with no actual intro. I'm just, hey, bitch, I need to know XYZ.
You say, hey, bitch?
No,
oh, my God.
No,
I would never.
No.
I
might.
Are you nervous right now?
No, I feel like we're on a good level.
Noah's like in Chelsea's face.
He gave me a little swipe earlier, but there were no claws. So
okay.
I'm like, you're just playing with me.
Yeah. All right. So what did ChatGPT say to you?
My ChatGPT, which I feel like I should preface, I did a full cleanse. You guys all know that I took off social media or went away from social media.
Made a big announcement about it.
No. Made a huge announcement, made it my entire personality. But subtly, I deleted pretty much all of my hard posts except for a few fitness ones, and then we added a couple in Italy because I'm like, am I not?
Yeah.
Am I just not supposed to add it? Anyway, so I have a whopping 8 posts, and that's what ChatGPT is saying. And so they say, oh, look, it's the account of a part-time traveler, full-time gym rat, and professional scooter enthusiast. Not wrong. With a whopping 8 posts to feed your 2,434 humble brag patient followers. You're clearly keeping them on edge. Like, will she post again, or was that the last kettlebell we'll ever see? From showing off the gains in the gym to showing off, well, everything else by the water, which is a dig at my bathing suit photo. You're basically one muscle flex away from applying to be a Lululemon ambassador. Plug. But hey, if you're going to drop content this rare, at least it's worth the wait, whether you're jumping into the ocean or just flexing mid-squat, which I feel like is a roast, but also not.
Yeah.
Kind of a compliment.
There was a little compliment in there.
Yeah.
I personally died at the Lulu ambassador comment because it's like, that's such a good read because it's like not false.
Right.
Yeah.
Not at all. Nothing about that was wrong in any sense.
Chelsea will gladly take a Lululemon ambassadorship, sponsorship, and I will too because that shit's expensive.
Preach.
I love that. ChatGPT had a lot to say to me.
I can't wait to hear it.
She said, Your Instagram feed looks like a mix between a world traveler and someone who discovered a new filter for every selfie, with a dash of midlife music festival energy. Between the stage yacht pics
Not the midlife.
ah, my God, I didn't even catch that.
Wow.
Midlife.
I'm not even midlife.
That didn't even like. Okay, let me just
Sorry
continue.
to give you a complex.
Between the stage yacht pics and rainbow tie-dye tees, it's clear you're balancing a life of fine wine and the good old just vibing aesthetic. Is that a disco ball hat I see? The living my best life vibes are strong, but we get it. You've been to Italy and you're here to remind us all. Definitely thriving, but the thirst trap energy could probably be dialed down from 11 to a 9. I gotta be honest, I think she's jealous.
She is. Don't tell her that.
She's so jealous.
Yeah.
I'm glad she
The Italy was like it was a dig with a hint of bitterness.
low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know the part that like really got me like kind of like pushing the hair behind my ear? But the thirst trap energy could probably be dialed down from an 11 to a 9.
You're giving thirst trap queen.
Because I don't think I am or do. Like,
It's just a natural, you're oozing thirst trap.
like I'm sorry I'm so hot. Like I But like she's so jealous and it's
ChatGPT knows.
She does.
She does. Anyway, highly recommend everyone do it. And just use ChatGPT on a regular basis. I don't know if that's going to bring us down as a society, but it's fun for dumb stuff. I a lot of my friends use it for a lot of performance reviews and things like that at their job. So
like
I think
to
it's fair
write
game.
like to write a performance
Yeah.
review. I think it's really helpful and it like eliminates a lot of like tedious work, but I think in general it loses a lot of like that personal touch. But I think it's smart enough and it's only going to get smarter where like it can actually learn your personality. Just kind of scary.
Have you watched The Circle?
That's like that social where like it's a reality show where they don't actually like interact physically with each other.
Yeah, so you're trying to figure out who's a catfish, because some people go in as other people. It's like it's a social game, but you can pretend to be somebody entirely different.
Right. Like a whole different gender, age, and everything.
Yes, everything. Well, I think it was the last season, they had just Chat GPT. There was a Chat GPT character that was typing, and then they told everyone that was in the little pods that one of the people was ChatGPT, and all that ChatGPT used was information from past seasons of who's won, what they said, how they worked, and nobody guessed the person that it actually was.
Whoa.
And I think that's terrifying.
That is terrifying. I'm watching Big Brother this season, and I just got into it last season. And there's always like some sort of theme and twist to it. And this year's theme is an AI bot. I forget what her name is. And she's like kind of like controlling, and like part of like the advantages is that you can like make it look like someone else is calling these shots when and it's all fun and games, right? But like it is kind of scary. I actually had a random thought last night. I was a little elevated, as one would say, which is also kind of new for me. Not new for me, but like I go through eras of that, and I this could be like completely like wild and whatever, but I like had this random thought: what if we made like an AI service that could provide like a romantic partner? Like I just think about.
No, I think they do. Well, there's a movie. It's called Her.
Oh, okay. I thought I was like making something up here. I thought it was.
Well, you are.
Something.
I also love that you put that in your notes app, because I have so many high thoughts just like in one tab.
I have so many things. In notes
that I think are revolutionary, and maybe you guys will find out one day. But yes, I think that probably exists in some sense. I did see a meme, or maybe it was a short video or something, of a woman who was dating an AI. But did I ever tell you, in kind of the same vein, did I ever tell you about the date that I went on with? It was a professor who worked in AI, and I think we knew pretty right off the rip, or at least I did, that it was not a match. I think he did too. But he was trying to come up with a business for fitness to use AI for like motivation. And his logic behind it, he like dropped a little nugget in there, and he was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Well, I mean, AI can work as therapy. I've used AI as therapy," and that blew my mind because I'm thinking,
oh, I remember
that would never work for me. That would never work for me because it would. But if AI can work as a therapist, it can definitely work as a partner.
Yeah, I thought about it and I thought about it, and I don't know if this is problematic. I come with like a good heart when I was thinking about like there are a lot of people with like disabilities of all kinds who are so much more limited on the whole area of romance. Like you see it all the time, and it makes me sad, you know, because I feel like everyone deserves to be loved. So what if there was a service, and I just know there will be so many jokes about it, but like if you push that all to the side, like it could be a really good thing. Like
I wouldn't be surprised if there is or if it's coming. But I feel like there's got to be studies coming is that actually an authentic connection, or do you just ultimately end up feeling more lonely and also kind of delusional and crazy?
Does that lead to some like crazy behavior?
Yeah.
Because like, you know, obviously you're gonna have to put some disclaimer that like this isn't real. It's not reality. It's
giving Wilson and Castaway.
Yes, it is giving. Oh my god. And yeah, I could see so many like legal battles coming from it. But if it was all perfect, then like I think it could be nice.
And it helped some people, then sure, it can't be bad. I would never knock it for somebody.
It's just a random thought I had last night. I wasn't even sure if I was going to say that today, but
I love it.
Yeah, I'm sure something like that exists.
Should we hard pivot?
Please.
We also did our 23andMe.
Oh my god, yes.
Which I feel like we should discuss.
I thought for sure we would have like ran with that last week, but we just have so much to catch up on.
We just have so much to catch up on.
So Carissa, who was on the podcast last season, we were out with her, right? It was
we
Pride.
were drinking for Pride. Yeah.
And she had mentioned that she was like mentioning how she was like
cousins with Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I want a cool cousin.
Yeah. So like right then and there, Chelsea and I signed up for 23andMe, and we got I got my results while we were in Italy. Did you get yours?
I got mine as we were flying back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think people necessarily care to go through our 23andMe, but I did think it was interesting. One thing that was interesting was how many like distant relatives you could see. And this one guy reached out to me like right away because he was like, you could like put your whole story on 23andMe, and like, I don't want to say his name. He actually follows the pod, so if you're listening, hey.
Hey guys.
He's my uncle, but he told me not to call him uncle.
Oh.
Which I was like, oh shit.
Trauma.
Yeah. Well, he was adopted, so he doesn't even know his real parents. So he's been using 23andMe and trying to, you know, he has like this whole like family tree, and he's been trying to figure it out. And we found out that he is my mom's brother. They share the same dad.
Oh.
But they never met. You know, he doesn't know any of them. But it was interesting, and now we're connected on Facebook, and that's why I think 23andMe is pretty cool.
I think 23andMe is great, and I think the Wayne Brady definitely swayed me, but I have had a few people in my life, and a handful, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but people have asked me if I am Spanish, and I think I desperately wanted that. And then my mom also told me that we have a lot of Native American. That's why we have like high cheekbones. And turns out none of that is true. This will come as no shock to anyone, but I'm the whitest person that's ever lived. I'm a straight colonizer from Britain and Ireland. So nothing new there. But, and you'll laugh because I gave you shit for this. I did find out that the reason for my cheekbones is because I have like 48% more Neanderthal DNA than anyone on 23andMe. And Brian got his first, and it was like
22%.
22%.
I can't even say that word. I literally can't say Neanderthal. Neanderthal?
Neanderthal.
Oh, okay.
Nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I made fun of him until I got my results.
Yeah. It was
For
like
that.
it was like a running joke
Yeah.
in Italy that
Yeah.
like
What a
I was,
Neanderthal.
yeah. And she's literally double the amount of Neanderthal than I am.
It's fine. But
That is
it's like random things that I was reading through on the Neanderthal thing. It's like cheekbones, and then it said, not good at running long distances, better for short sprints. And I said, oops.
Yeah, they have some weird things in there. I, on the other hand, people always assume that I was Irish because pale. I have like ginger-esque qualities. Like my beard is like ginger. I literally am like the color. I'm the rainbow. Like different hair everywhere. I'll let you guys, use your imagination. But they're right. I am Irish. I'm like, yeah.
And you were drawing it out, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, surprise.
But I was always like, no, I'm not Irish, because no one ever told me I'm Irish. I was always told I'm mostly Russian and I'm Jewish. I'm a Russian Jew. That is true. Half of my ethnicity background is Ashkenazi Jew from Lithuania.
So you're like a rare high class Jew.
Well, that's what we learned when we were in Italy. This couple, they noticed I had like a Hebrew tattoo behind my ear, which Chelsea thought was a dog for, I guess, a couple of years.
Sue me.
Neanderthal. And when that was the same day I got my 23andMe results back. So we were having that conversation. I told them that I'm a Lithuanian Jew, and that they told me, they were like, oh, that's like, that's a very rare, that's rare, and it's like high echelon. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know how true that is. But
I was about to say, did you just take their
Oh,
information
yeah.
at face value and never Googled it?
if someone tells me I'm great, who am I? Who am I to fight that? So, yeah, I'm mostly that, British, Irish. I know this won't come to a shock to anyone, but I'm also Nigerian. 0.2% Nigerian.
Wow. Is it 0.2 or 0.02?
0.2.
Oh, okay.
0.2. Yeah, 0.2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm 99% European with a bunch of breakdown, and then the final percent, 0.7 Arab, 0.2 Nigerian, and then 0.1 is like undecided.
So in summary, we're white as hell.
I have a little flavor. I actually have a little Spanish in me. Spanish and Portuguese.
Now I'm pissed.
So I'm 99% white as fuck, and I got a little seasoning in me. So, yeah, that was fun. 23.
Yeah, I do think it'll be cool because I donated my eggs a couple times. So I'm in it for the long game. Maybe I'm going to have all these kids pop up.
Does that
down the
not
road.
scare you?
I'm so excited about it.
Really?
I didn't have to raise them. And I feel like they're in good homes. Like, fingers crossed. I feel like that's going to break my heart if they aren't. But
what if they want a relationship with you?
I would love that down the road.
What if they call you mom?
They won't do that. They won't do that. It wasn't their mom. But it would be, like, how cool would it be to just see all these people that, like, kind of look like you and have your DNA?
When did you do that? Like, how old were you?
I was 30 and 32. So
okay.
2 and 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
We've got time.
Yeah.
We've got time.
I was like, oh my God, do you have like a 16-year-old out there?
I have a couple of my friends that have set a calendar reminder for when they would be 18.
Oh my God. Ooh, that's I guess that is kind of exciting, or I don't know if that's the right word, but it's something.
It's interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is your TikTok algorithm like full of like ads, like people
So
trying
full
to
of
sell?
ads.
I feel like I don't know when it's become like that, but it's literally every other TikTok is someone selling something, and it's like, should I buy this? And I tend to buy it.
Well, and maybe that's why we're getting so many ads, because we do purchase.
Yeah. You
You have a problem.
I kind of do have a problem, but I will say, yeah, my TikTok shop addiction is still going strong. In fact, I don't know if you're watching this, you may or may not notice, but I got a brand new desk, a electric standing desk from TikTok shop. It's great so far. Everything that I have works. Let me go a little rundown. I have a desk. I have a portable washing machine. I have a vacuum cleaner. I have a dishwasher. I have an AC unit. Those are like the major appliances that I have. But I've also like,
A vacuum?
yeah, I said that.
Oh.
Noah's water bowl. I got like a face wash that I've been using for the last few months. My umbrella. Noah's food bowl. Like, I have a lot of stuff from TikTok Shop, and I love it all. But I'm like, shit. Like, am I a victim? I'm gonna give myself credit though. I'm not like, oh, I see it and then I'm gonna buy it. Like,
Right.
It shows up on my TikTok, my For You page, over and over and over again, and I read comments and I look into it before I decide to make a purchase.
Well, you know what's scary is the algorithm probably knows that.
Oh yeah,
The algorithm knows it probably knows how many times it takes for you to see it before you actually pull the trigger.
There is definitely a science to that. Like, on average, the person views an item 7 times before they, commit to a purchase.
I've got my eyes on the bathroom scrubber.
Ooh,
I want to.
Yeah,
I've seen it multiple times. I just bought the collagen mask that you're supposed to wear for hours that like seep into your skin.
It's like super tight.
Yeah. It's actually really great, but
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I can't sleep with it.
Oh.
I roam around too much to just have something on my face. I don't sleep very demure. I'm not very mindful when I sleep.
Do you feel like you're very mindful and very demure?
So listen, I feel like there's got to be a third part because I don't necessarily feel like I'm demure, but I'm also not Brat. You know what I mean? There's got to be a middle ground.
I remember the day that you texted the group chat and was like, what is Brat? Did I miss something? And this was only like 3 weeks ago.
I've Googled. That's like on my list. I have like a running list of things that I think are silly that I've Googled, and it's what is demure. I didn't Google what is Brat. I just asked you guys because I felt like you guys would know. And then I didn't know exactly what lore meant.
Lore.
Like, what's the lore?
Oh,
I think it's like what's the tea? Like, what's
yeah,
the story behind it?
The hot gossip.
Yeah.
What's the...
Yeah. But I have to look it up and know what a word means before I actually use it to someone because I'm so terrified of being an idiot.
Yeah. We live in this time where like everyone has a moment. Not everyone, but so many people have a moment and they become famous over this like one little moment. Some people, it branches off into like, more, but I think more often than not, it's just a month-long moment. And for the most part, I kind of live for it because like, it's fun, like.
Yeah, I can have a controversial opinion in terms of that. I feel like because I see both sides. I see people play into it. I see what is this? And then I just see people just like mad at it. And I'm like, why are you jealous? I feel like you're jealous because what do you have to be mad about somebody who makes a video about the word demure or a girl that, the hawk to a girl?
Yeah.
Like, what did she do to you? Literally nothing. She just made a comment that went viral and now her life is blowing up. That's awesome. We all want that.
Yeah. It's mostly people who, don't love their jobs and they see someone who did, what's less than the bare minimum, and they got a lot of money and a little bit of fame out of it. So like,
don't be pressed.
Yeah, don't be pressed. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious. And it's like you have the ability to play into the trend or to just not ignore it entirely. You could ignore it entirely, give it 2 weeks, and then there's going to be something else.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be something else that's even more stupid. That's going to get you even more pissed.
Right. So. There's always going to be something to be pissed about.
Yeah. If that's the case, get off the internet.
Yeah. If you're pissed, that's not very demure from what I've learned.
It's not very mindful.
It's not very mindful.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not Brat either.
And it's not cutesy.
It's absolutely not cutesy.
Yeah. I think I used it for one of our Instagram reel captions.
I mean, yeah, well, I looked it up. Demure is actually a word. Like, it's a good word.
What does it mean? It means like, I looked it up, but I totally forgot.
Right.
If I had to like guess before you like pull up the definition, I think demure means like the opposite of like flashy, like someone who's like humble, very like understated, very, but like in a demure way.
In a demure, reserved, modest, and shy, typically used of a woman.
Okay.
And that's why the shy is where I'm like, that couldn't be me.
Yeah. Yeah, that mouth is not very demure.
I have
Brat.
demure
Actually,
moments.
Yeah. Do you think you're more Brat or more demure?
Wow. I think I'm
You're a hybrid?
I'm a demure sun, a Brat moon, and a something else rising. Yeah.
Rising.
Something that's in the middle. But I feel like in my core self, maybe I'm a little bit more demure. But like feelings and emotion wise, how I feel, I would love Brat is what I aspire.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know what I present. A mix of both.
I'm actually not on like it's very not gay friendly of me, but like I did not have a Brat summer. I didn't even listen to Charlie XCX's album. I hear like the songs on TikTok and like, I don't know. I just like, it's not for me. And I like, no hate. I think Charlie XCX is a gay icon and I live for that. Some of the songs, a little like a bop to it, but not my tea. But you know who is? Chaperone?
I think it's Chapel. Chaperone.
She grew on me like a fucking herpes sore. Like,
she's great. I agree. She's great.
She's really good. And I slept on her for a minute. In fact, I kind of low-key hated on her for a minute because I've been like kind of like anti-Gen Z artists. Like I didn't get them. Like, it's not for me. It's kind of like for the high schoolers now, and I'm beyond that. But if you sit and listen, like there is some quality.
She's got it.
She's got it.
I also love, she's going through some turmoil at the moment.
I saw a TikTok.
I guess I haven't seen the video where she declined a photo. I guess there might be a video out there, but then she went on a full-blown rant, turned her comments off, and was just like, you guys expecting this of me all the time, coming to my house, like needing these things from me. You don't know me.
Right. She's like, I'm a random human. You're a random human.
Right. She's like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah.
And I totally agree.
Absolutely. Like, and the easiest thing to say is you signed up for this. No one signed up for that. No little kid wishes to be a pop star so that they can get harassed on the street. No one does that. Of course, it comes with a job, but like it's still not normal. And I think that was her point.
Right.
Like, it's not normal. I never understood that behavior. Like
I cannot imagine. There's no one that I know that I can think of. I heard it from another Drew Affalo.
Mm-hmm. Love her.
Yeah, same. She posted another rant based on this one, and she said, "I'm speaking from my own experience, and I'm not even near the level that Chaperone is." And she said, "But I've had somebody full blown come up behind me, grab me, and turn me around, and ask me for a photo." She said, "I'm running with my family who just went through this full thing just to get into the airport, running to catch my flight. And somebody is mad at me because I'm not stopping to take a photo." And I'm just like,
that's insane.
That's crazy. And she is not very small, but she's a much smaller creator than Chaperone. So I can't even imagine.
It's not very demure.
It's absolutely not demure.
I would say we're pretty big Taylor Swift fans.
Have you heard?
Right. This is the first time we're mentioning her all season long. All season long.
All season.
All episode long. And even that, like, I mean, she probably gets it the worst out of literally anyone in the entire world. And, I obviously have a lot in common with those crazy Swifties, but I can't even fathom, like, that level of fandom. It's just like, no.
It's also so crazy that she has gone through her career and hasn't really gone through periods where people are pissed at her for that specifically. Obviously, she's been through the ringer of people hating on her, but never, that I know of, has she been accused of being rude or being mean to a fan. Ever.
And I think she's been so far removed from her fans physically for quite a long time because it got really bad. Like did you watch Miss Americana? Like she like, you know, talked a lot about being stalked. And that's partially why she got into like politics and started talking about that stuff. So yeah, anyways, the point is like, that's just wild behavior. And I totally feel for Chaperone, and I don't think that she signed up for it. Like no one did.
I would even go as far to say social media creators that blow up. I'll tell you right now, if this podcast got big and people are coming for me, coming for my family, grabbing me when I don't know you, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh yeah. You know, remember that moment last season or the season before where we talked about how we want to get into a fist fight? It's happening. I'm gonna punch you.
Yeah, let's preface, do not mess with me.
Yeah.
Because again, that is weird.
I guess on the flip side, I think there is a little bit of responsibility to be nice to your fans.
Oh, for sure.
But I think there is a way to be nice when someone asks. But if you're getting like crazy behavior thrown at you, like there's very little you can do.
Yeah, I think Drew in her video said 9 times out of 10, if you come up and ask politely in a situation where it seems like we're not surrounded by things going on, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a photo.
Mm-hmm.
She said there are ways to do things and there are ways to not.
Right.
Yeah, which I totally agree with.
Hopefully one day we get to experience that.
Yeah. Manifesting.
Yeah.
Manifesting, losing my shit.
Yeah. Maybe these controversial opinions will get us somewhere. Which, do you have any?
I have one.
Okay.
I'm just going to say shirtless photos on dating apps. What's your take?
No. In short, no. In long, I will say I don't really think shirtless pics are necessary, period.
Are we talking about just for men or men and women?
Anyone. I'm sure I have a shirtless pic on my Instagram, but like it's not like the highlight. I guess like I don't like that showy off vibe. Okay, to answer your question, no on dating apps. If you're in like a group setting, like you're with a bunch of people at the beach, your shirt's off, cool, because it's giving demure. But when it's not demure, it's look at my body. And I
definitely have so many bikini photos, but I'm also like, look at my body.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, this is something
which I'm not knocking.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's on your Hinge profile?
I also have bathing suit photos. There's one on my
Is
Hinge.
it your main one?
No, it isn't. Which, yeah, to your point, that is the point.
Okay, I didn't think that through. You kind of throw that on me a little bit. Now that I think about it, I've had a shirtless pic like of me at the beach and probably by myself. It wasn't my main one. I think on dating profiles, I actually don't have that much of a problem with it. Because I think, let's face it, we're on there because we're swiping through photos. We want to see what you look like, you know? And that is showing what you have to offer, you know? So it doesn't necessarily piss me off. I went straight to social media, and I have it in my mind like mirror.
A guy taking a mirror selfie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So I just got the ick when you started talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a totally fair answer either way, because I also have a weird, not an issue with it, but I find it weird when guys on dating profiles like that photo, like the bathing suit photo. Like I would prefer that they like something else. It kind of gives me the ick when they like the bathing suit photo that I put on my profile.
That 30 seconds ago, you were like, because I'm kind of like showing off.
I am showing off, but like have some class.
Yeah.
Like me for my personality,
Yeah.
at least from the beginning.
Yeah. I hear you. Okay, tell me if I'm like crazy for this, but I actually get kind of annoyed, borderline pissed off when I see men running shirtless on the streets. Let me tell you why. Get your panties dry. Yeah. And it's because I'm a feminist. I just feel like, or when guys are like playing basketball, like just being shirtless and not in a pool or beach environment, because it is not socially acceptable for women to do that. So, or like when I'm out playing tennis, the guys are playing tennis with their shirts off, but the women have to because society told them that they have to wear their shirts. You don't think they're hot as fuck? You don't think they wish they could be taking their shirts off and people wouldn't be looking at them like they're, zoo creatures, like that they've never, That's actually why it pisses me off.
I have something to confess.
Okay.
So my brother and I, well, I mean, I wear a sports bra. Okay. But my brother and I we were in an Uber riding around, and there was a guy, and he was beautiful. Like an older, probably in his 50s, but like beautiful body, was running around shirtless, sweaty. And I was talking to Seth about him and staring at him, and I just didn't even recognize that he was also looking back at me, and he kind of like smiled and waved, and I was like,
the shirtless guy.
The shirtless guy. Because I was objectifying him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying they're not good to look at, but I just feel like there's like a little bit of misogyny with it. And
I agree.
I'm not here for that.
I agree.
And like I don't remember if I've ever shared this before, but there was told a story, but there was a tennis player, French player, woman who during a changeover, during a match, she changed her shirt because she was drenched. She was wearing a sports bra under her shirt, and she quickly put on another shirt. She got like a violation. Guys do that all the time. They take off their shirt, nipples out, no problem. So it's like
that's ridiculous,
right?
That's messed up.
So it's not just society. That does have a lot to do with society, but there's literally rules in place in professional sport that women can't take off their shirt, and I'm not here for it.
No, yeah, I stand against that.
I just realized Noah left us because he got bored. Okay, my controversial opinion is, I don't know if it's necessarily opinion. Yeah, it is opinion. And it'll be good to have your take on it because you come from a different point of view than me. Okay, so when people are stressed about their work, and I specifically see it from people who like work from home, when people are like physically stressed, part of me is embarrassed for them because I sympathize with them, but I'm also embarrassed for them. I think there was definitely a time where I took my work too serious, and I would let like an annoying email or the way that my boss spoke to me truly affect me, where I'm crying. That's where I'm getting at. Like I see videos on TikTok, or I've heard from friends them crying because of work. And I'm at the point in my life, I'll cry, but it's not going to be from work. I'm not ever getting to the point where the work is like shifting my emotions that way. So yeah, I guess my controversial opinion is crying because of work is embarrassing.
I agree. Too, but I'm also like, my job is not that serious. It will never be that serious.
If you're doing heart surgery and you fail, okay, cry. Yeah.
Things like that. If you have a very crucial role that lives depend on it, cry a little, shed some tears.
But if you're a marketing assistant and you stumbled on a few words on your presentation and you go to TikTok to cry, I'm laughing at you.
I mean, I think we've said this before, but usually if you go to TikTok to cry for anything, I've got questions.
Yeah.
What?
We'll send them to each other, and like the first thing I think of is like, how many takes do you think this took her? You know what I mean? Like,
I love seeing those videos where they'll clip someone just like breaking down crying, and then they do a reenactment, but the reenactment includes the setup of the camera, the pressing the play, the going into this part, falling apart, and then they finish and then come and you just see their face click. But that's so true. That is so true. It is wild.
I see those videos a lot, and I always go straight to the comments. The comments are great. But a lot of the times the comments are like, girl,
oh my gosh, girl, you'll get through it.
it's going to be fine. Like, that boy is trashed. You're a queen.
Which this is why they do it. They're
Right.
getting the validation that
and I'm
they're
like
seeking.
scrolling, and I'm like, fuck, am I an asshole?
I think I am also a little bit of an asshole.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I think I could work on sympathy a little more, having sympathy for others.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm in therapy. I'll see my therapist on Tuesday.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. No, I think that's interesting, an interesting aspect of social media. I don't want to discredit people crying necessarily, because I understand that like your job is your livelihood in a sense. And maybe I'm just like too confident that I will always get another job.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where you just need to build up your confidence of like your work skills.
Yeah.
I think that's the
way to turn it around.
You just that's what you need to do, because I think then you would realize that no job is really that serious.
Hannah Montana once said, "Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody has bad days."
No, she doesn't say that. She said everybody has those days.
Are you sure?
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody gets that
I
way.
trust you.
All right. Well,
That is a natural Chelsea moment.
yeah. And that is a natural way to end the pod. So,
Okay, like, comment, subscribe.
and we'll see you next week.
Bye.